Success is within everybody. Okay? It's in every single one of us. But the problem lies, are you willing to put in the work, the time, the effort, the education, investing in yourself, leaving your old friends, whatever, to be successful? About myself. Graduated in 1980, Fort Worth native, graduated degree in management, mining economics. Went to work for IBM, worked at IBM 12, 15 years. I was in financial marketing. I marketed $1 million transactions to customers. I was the youngest out of 150 positions. I was the youngest person in only one of three African Americans. After that, I worked as a regional transportation manager for Office Depot. In December 18th, 1998, I left corporate America and I took over. My father had started a small janitorial business and I took it over full time. We went from 8 employees, including the 4 family members, to approximately 150, $250,000 worth of contracts in place to upwards to $17 million. Okay? And I attribute a lot of my success to UTA. Love coming back because I come to meetings with people from Yale and Texas and Stanford and MIT and Penn and all these great schools, and it gives me much pleasure to know that a graduate of UTA can compete with those guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you a shortened version of the guru. This young man, wanted to make a lot of money, so he heard about this business guru. So he went to the business guru and said, I want to be successful like you. The business guru tells him, meet me at the beach at 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning, kid's there. He has on a suit, but he should have had on shorts. So the business guru takes him out into the ocean, gets waist deep. He says, do you still want what I have? He said, yes. Takes him farther. Now he's shoulder high. He said, and the kid's getting a little nervous because he can't swim. He said, do you still want what I have? He said, yes. He takes him, his nose deep. The kid gets ready to go back to the shore. The business guru grabs him by the top of the head and pushes him under the water and holds him. And holds him and lets him up. The kid's gasped for air and everything. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want most? The kid said, I wanted to breathe. He said, you will only become successful like me when you want success and achievement as bad as you want to breathe. I tend to say, I'll kill my own mother for it. Okay? I want everybody to close their eyes for a second and visualize where you want to be or what you want to be. Okay? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. President of the United States, mayor, whatever. Okay? Fantastic. The first level of success is seeing it. Okay? You have to see what you want to believe before you do anything else. Okay? You have to see how to be a CEO. You have to see how to be a great mother. You have to see how to be a great teacher. You have to see how to be a great writer, rapper. You have to see it way before you get there, okay? As I was on my travel to success, my family members constantly started telling me, something's about you different. Something's about you has changed. What was happening was real success is internal, not external. I was changing the way I spoke, the people I hung around with. I don't read the sports pages from cover to cover anymore. I grab a Inc., Fortune magazine, Wall Street Journal. Okay? You have to see your dream. You have to put your arms around it. You have to touch it. You have to feel it. Okay? You have to know what your dream is. Okay, there's 1,000 books out there on success and how to be successful and all that, okay? Success is not this wonderful, unachieving, esoteric oneness, okay, that a person was born into. That's not success. Success is within everybody, okay? It's in every single one of us. But the problem lies, are you willing to put in the work, the time, the effort, the education, investing in yourself, leaving your old friends, whatever, to be successful? My first road to success, I lost everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I remember the Sunday night that I scraped together change for gas money to make it to my accounts. I remember that night vividly, okay? I remember the day a vendor in Arlington, I wrote him a $200 hot check, knew there was no money in the bank anyway, but I had to get this work done. I wrote him a $200 hot check. It was over 2 months before I could pick up the check. Today, I have an unlimited line of credit with him because when I paid him, I went back to him and thanked him, okay? Even today, his prices might be higher than other vendors, but I will never not stop doing business with him because of the way he helped me out. But you have to do a lot of things on the road to success. But it's not like Bill Gates. You have to read his story. 7 years in the desert, being broke. He didn't wake up one day and start Microsoft. It wasn't that easy for him. Okay. You know, back to what I said about you have to see your dream and your success. Muhammad Ali. They told him, they said, you're skinny, you really can't box, you're not that good. When he was screaming, if you watch some old videos, he's screaming, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. He believed it. Now, well, I'll tell you a story. You know how you have to see your success? When Ali was drafted into the United States Army, his religion told him not to fight. Excuse the term I'm going to use. He told the draft board, the Viet Cong has never called me a nigger. You know, people apologize. But he didn't see a fighter, okay? His dream, shooting a gun. Today, do you know that Ali's face is the most recognizable face on the planet Earth? He's the most revered figure in the world today. You know why? He stayed true to his principles. He stayed true to his dream. He was stripped of his title. That's how you be successful. You have to be willing to give up everything. He gave up his title. That's why you have to see what your dream is. Okay, Kobe Bryant, phenomenal basketball player. Right out of high school, he gets drafted. He refuses to go to the team he's drafted to. He's going to make millions of dollars anyway. But what Kobe told the reporters was, I know what the NBA looks like, and it doesn't look like this team. He said, what does it look like? He said, gold, Magic Johnson, Wilt Chamberlain, James Worthy. His dream was the Lakers. You have to know what your dream looks like and never give up your principles and your values, because when you do, you compromise. You compromise, and you'll never get it fully, okay? You'll get the shortcut version. Here's another person I've been reading about lately, Richard Pryor. Do you know that Richard Pryor was, excuse the expression, Richard Pryor was born and raised in a house of, what do you want to call it? A brothel, okay? He always said he had 30, 40 fathers and 20 or 30 mothers. But you know what funny thing that what Richard Pryor was able to do? You know, I said success is internal. He was able to take his internal pain to outward joy. And when Richard Pryor was on stage, if you read about him, he's always talking about Little Richard. He's always talking about when he was a boy. So people can turn pain and hurt. You'll never read a story about a successful person that didn't go through a whole lot of tragedy, upheaval, disappointments. There's not one. But he was able to turn his pain as a child into a successful career. Okay. What are you willing to give up to be successful? What are you? Are you willing to give up your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your cell phone? Don't go to sorority parties. Don't hang out. Don't play video games. I tell students, to really, really be successful, you know what you have to give up? Or be willing to give up? What, water? I was thirsty. Okay, be willing to give up. I tell them everything. Okay? If you really, really want to be successful, you have to be willing to give up everything. Okay? Because your dream has to be bigger than anything else. Tell a story oftentimes. I'm trying to secure this largest account in our company's history, several $1 million. I'm told I'll never get it. I'm told again I'll never get it. I asked the lady who she was talking to, okay? $14 million later. My dream was big, much bigger than her opposition, okay? Much bigger. Okay? Even through trying to become successful, the highs and lows of becoming successful, you always have to be persistent and keep on. Cathy Hughes, turned down 60 plus times. She owns Radio One, TV One, African American lady. Turned down 60 times for a bank loan. Who in here would go on the 59th trip to a bank? Okay? Thomas Edison, the light bulb. 10,000 tries. 10,000, okay? And he never looked at it as if he failed 10,000 times. He looked at it as 9,999 times. Just didn't work. For another example, a couple of weeks ago, I have a lender looking at a financial package for the construction loan on our new office building. So he looks at all the data, and he comes back to me and tells me all the reasons why he didn't think it should fly. Okay? And I thanked him. And I said, I'll make sure you get an invitation to our grand opening. And he told me, he said, I like that attitude. And I said, blankety blank blank, it's not an attitude, it's a fact. Again, my dream, much bigger than his opposition. Okay, this is a crucial point. At any second, at any time, to be successful, meaningfully successful, you have to be willing to give up who you are now for who you are to become. Okay, you remember when I talked about changing? You have to give up who you are because you're not that successful person right now. Okay, you have to be willing to give up who you are for who you are to become to really achieve your dream. They say you're the sum total of the 5 people you're around the most, okay? I stay by myself a lot, okay? I stay by myself a lot. All my friends are business people. All my friends are self-employed. And all we talk is 90% of our conversations are about business. We don't talk about the dogs, talk minimal sports, minimal about family. We talk about business and how to achieve business, the sum of the 5 people you're around. Get away from the negative people. I say keep the negative people out of your community, okay? And don't go into theirs, okay? Nothing comes out of my mouth negative, nothing. If it's not positive, I don't say it. If it's not good, I don't say it. Another thing about keeping on going is this. Let me tell you something. I got to a point in college where I made up my mind that I would never drop a class, okay? I challenge you to quit dropping classes. Go all the way to the end of the semester and do like I did. I got 3 Ds in the same class, okay? I got 3 Ds. I don't know if they still teach analytical geometry here, but I got 3 Ds in analytical geometry because I refused to quit. I refused to drop, okay? And the reason I kept taking it, I didn't want to deal with my transcript. So I wonder today if it held me back in. It might have held me back a little bit. I might have got to Harvard Award a little sooner, okay? Know this. My life has not been a bed of roses. I didn't come from privilege. My daddy wasn't this core executive. You know, he had a 10th grade education. I grew up sharing everything with 2 brothers. That's why I have a problem sharing today. In the 2nd grade, I was in the first group of African Americans to attend public schools in the city of Fort Worth. I was picked on, ridiculed, told by the teachers told my parents before I ever said a full day in school that I was unteachable, that they don't think I could learn, that they should maybe take me out of school and not even allow me to go, okay? But I thank God for my parents saying, no, he's gonna take the test, he's gonna pass. The funny thing about it, when they showed the school my report card, I had all A's and 1 B, but it was from African American school. So never pay attention to what people say about you. You know, the rappers. Who likes rap music? I always ask this question. Who likes rap? Oh, dog, people are lying to me again. Okay. 55 years old. I just bought my first CD. I had the music up blaring loud. And when I listen to a song, you have to listen to these songs. They're talking about going from the projects to estates, from the corner to boardrooms, from catching the bus to buying Bugattis. You have to listen. These guys are just not yelling out profanity-laced words. Some of them have some amazing stories. Amazing. Jay-Z, for example. I'm very fond of Jay-Z. Matter of fact, I got a chance to go to New York and attend a special showing of his cologne line. We were late. I told my wife, when me and Jay-Z and Beyonce at the table, because we're late because of her, she can't come over. Okay. These guys have wonderful stories. Yeah, they made mistakes, grew up with no fathers, selling drugs. But if you listen to the music, when I listen to a rap song, no, I don't listen to that many. I probably have like 10 or 12. I listen to them 30 or 40 or 50 times because they got messages in these songs. And they got messages of success. How do you take a guy who dropped out of high school in the 10th grade and now he runs a multi-million-dollar business, okay? He's a sports mogul. He's a rapper. He owns the clothing line. On and on and on and on. How do you do that? Okay? And they always say the same thing. I didn't want to stay here. I tell a story about Jay-Z that 6th or 7th grade, he goes to his English teacher's house. He said this was a defining moment in his life, a life-changing event. He went to her, she lived in New York City, out on the outskirts. She goes to her house, and he sees an ice maker on the refrigerator. Okay? An ice maker. That changed his life because you know what? A light bulb turned on because he saw more and he wanted it. Okay? So when you see more, you see your dream, you see who you want to be. Again, any second, change who you are for what you are to become. I tell my nephews that I mentor and other young men, I said, when Jay-Z represented the Nets at the NBA lottery draft, his cap was not on backwards. His pants were not baggy. He didn't have on a jersey. He had on a suit and tie. Same thing with the tech guys. The tech guys, I hear stories all the time that people that didn't invest in Google, didn't invest in Twitter, I say rappers and tech people were outsiders because nobody could understand them. I recently read an article about Lady Gaga's manager. He was the first person to flood the social media world. He said when he first met Lady Gaga, he was like, who is this lady? Okay? She had an English-sounding pop sound. Nobody in America had really heard of her, so that's where her following came from. So the tech guys were outsiders also. So being an outsider is not a bad thing because it forces you to do some things that are not normal. Jay-Z had to start his own record label. Tell a story about Cash Money. Cash Money Records, label Lil Wayne is with, they're the most profitable record company in music history, okay? Because sometimes not knowing helps you. The music industry has their standards of payment to artists, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and how they do masters. Well, the owners of Cash Money, you know about seeing your dream, visualizing? They go to New York to meet with Russell Simmons, and they say, well, we want this, and they say, hey, it's not done like this, and kick them out of the office. These guys go back to New Orleans. They already make $1 million a month out of the trunk of their cars, 19 years old. Not too bad. But their business got bigger and bigger and hotter. So the record industry said, hey, they brought the record industry to their knees. They got their demands. They get 80% of their money. Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, they get 2 or 3%. So today, every other artist is trying to realign their financial structure to align with Cash Money. Again, what they do, they're stuck to their values and principles. Like Muhammad Ali, they didn't change. They said, if we're only gonna make $1 million a month out of the trunk of our car, not a bad deal anyway. So now they make hundreds of millions, but they totally changed the music landscape. You're responsible for your dream. You and you only. Okay? You don't need me for your dream. I might pollute your dream. I might get you off center. I might get you off course. Okay? I tell people all the time, this is when you're going to become successful. When you don't need You don't want, you don't expect anything from anybody. Back to do it or die trying, visualizing it, okay? Because there's a lot of things you can't control. You can't control if you're going to get the loan. You can't control if you're going to get the deal. You can't control if this customer is going to sign on with you. You can't control any of that. You can't control it. So that's why you do what you need to do and not expect anything. Odds. I'm kind of sort of a history buff, and I read a lot of successful people. If you pick up a book and you read what some of these people went through, going back a little bit, John D. Rockefeller, history books have him seen as a tyrant, but he was an astute businessman. Anybody can do what this man monopolized an entire industry. Okay? An entire industry globally. I'll tell you another story, going against the odds. John Paul DeJorio, from John Paul Mitchell, the hair salon manufacturer. He started with $500. He was a former gang member, stayed on the streets, been in a lot of trouble, but he liked hair. So what he did, he came up with his own hair care products. If you look at a John Paul Mitchell product today, they're still in white bottles with black lettering. You know why? He didn't have enough money to get the color letters on there. You know what failures are? Failures are measuring sticks, okay? They're factors in your road to success to see if you really want it, okay? I could have stopped when the lady told me I wasn't going to get that contract. I could have easily stopped, okay? I mean, I think to this day, she's probably wondering who she was talking to in that room, because I let her know emphatically she wasn't talking to me. And again, we're on two people in the room. So it depends on how you look at failures. Failures, mistakes, don't run from them, run to them, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because you learn from them. They stretch you, you grow, okay? I made a bunch of mistakes. Probably do one or two more today, okay? But I learn from them, I embrace it, and say, why did this happen? Let me get some good out of it. Good, average, good, great. Who in here wants to be average? Nobody? Okay. Who in here wants to be good? So who wants to be great? Okay. I'll show you the difference. Good, average, you're just doing something. It's doing something. Good is worse than average, because good fakes you out. Good makes you think you're doing something, okay? Okay? But to do something great, you're not even in it for money, you're not in it for prestige, you're not trying to just take care of your family. Something inside of you says, there is a need out there. There is a want out there, and I'm gonna fulfill it. That's what the great people do, okay? Scientists, sociologists say 80% of your results come from only 20% of your effort, okay? I'm not a psychologist, I'm just repeating what it says, but to really hit it big, to really separate yourself for greatness, 99% of your results come from 1% of your effort, okay? I do the small things. I'm the guy at 3:30 in the morning with a pencil trying to figure out if 1/5, 1/10 of a penny is gonna make a difference on $1 million, okay? I go from small to big, and I go from A, Q, Z, I'm all over the place, okay? Small to big. There's greatness in one. Look at the major corporations. Coca-Cola, GM, Microsoft. You don't have to be great at everything, okay? I learned this in corporate America. Be the expert at one thing. Know one thing that nobody else knows. I'll tell you something about our company. Holidays, weekends, they don't matter to me. when most people think they need to be off, it's really unimportant because you have to separate yourself from the pack. You have to do something meaningfully different. I took over what I always say as a rinky-dink, small mom and pop janitorial company. Where we are today, I would have never envisioned it, okay? But we did the small things great. If I walk into one of my accounts and I see a wrinkle in somebody's khakis, I blow a gasket because we're not gonna be average. There's nothing we do average. Our office is not average. We don't do average. We separate ourselves from every other company like ours. There's not a janitorial company this year being recognized by Harvard. I don't know many janitorial companies that have won the awards and been in the paper because we're not just a janitorial company. We're in the community filling the need. We volunteer, we do philanthropy stuff. Office in College Park, named after my father. We're getting ready to have something named at the new baseball stadium. We're getting ready to meet with development here. We want to do stuff meaningfully different, and it does not always have to do with our business. What I want to leave you today is this. Dream big. Dream big. Don't pay attention to what people say. Believe in yourself when nobody else does, and pretend that you do when you don't. Okay? Thank you.